Hey Cassandra, I just wanted to respond to your Lazy Sunday vlog. Yeah, I've been thinking about what you were talking about with regards to having a mid-teen life crisis. And first thing that occurred to me is that I think if you're a healthy person who's going somewhere, you're going to have those all the time. And the reason I say healthy is that for you to go anywhere, for anyone to go anywhere, to do anything, you need those moments of plateau, those like flat spots where they feel like down spots because they're like valleys, like troughs, compared to when you're really on fire and you're excited and motivated. But they're necessary, because without those you don't get that uncomfortable feeling that makes you do things and makes you make decisions to change stuff. And for me that introduces two fundamental bits as I try not to get eaten by the bush. Okay, so here's a better spot. Yeah, two things. First thing, I reckon you're never really happy unless you're going somewhere. By that I mean you're never really happy unless things are changing but you're part of making the change. So by that I mean not just making changes in your life, but going somewhere and feeling like you're growing, I suppose, like you're learning something, or things are changing and it's exciting because you're not staying static. I guess when I say change I mean the opposite to things staying the same. So maybe an example might be when you got featured on the stations watching you. I'm assuming that all of a sudden you got a big flood of subscribers and you got an increase in the number of comments, and it must have been for a while really cool because things were changing. You were growing in a sense because you were learning what it's like to suddenly have a whole bunch of attention, and it gives you motivation, it spurs you on to do things. But then there'll come a point where that plateaus and it's still good, but it's not going anywhere anymore. So that's the plateau, and that's when the frustration sets in, and that kind of, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. It used to be fun, but now it's just not. I can't imagine still doing this forever. But it's like you don't want to give all that away necessarily, you want to move on to the next thing. And it's those times that create the tension in you that makes you make the changes to actually grow and put yourself out of your comfort zone. Does that make sense? So the second thing, if you know you want to go somewhere and do something greater than where you are, or bigger than where you are, or at a higher level than where you are, whether you're talking about physically or geographically, or the level of quality of what you're doing, or the general standard of what you're doing, one of the best things seems to be to throw yourself in by surrounding yourself with people who are doing what you want to be doing, but are doing it at a much higher level than what you are. So an example of this might be when you're on set as AD, is that what you were? Assistant director? Anyway, or director's assistant, or assistant to the director, whatever it was, a few months ago, and you're doing all those late night shoots out in the middle of nowhere. I can only assume that must have felt pretty darn awesome. Like you said yourself, I think you didn't quite know what you were supposed to be doing, but you learnt heaps while you were doing it. That's the sort of situation I'm talking about, and constantly looking to put yourself in those situations where it scares you, but it forces you to grow, which feeds back into the first thing. And if you're surrounding yourself with people who are doing things at a higher level, it gives you just that little bit of frustration or anxiousness, just enough to make you want to get better at the way you do things. Does that make sense? So you're only ever really happy while you're growing. You're only ever really happy while you're going somewhere, and unhappiness happens when things stay the same. And to help force the change, to help force the growth, put yourself around people and in a place that makes you realise that you're not at the level you want to be at and forces you to do better. So what I reckon is really cool about all of this is that these plateaus, these dead spots I suppose, these frustrated periods, they're like, it's kind of like time out or half time or something in a game where you can use them to remind yourself of who you really are and what you ultimately want to be. Let yourself dream a bit and imagine what awesome cool shit you're going to be doing, and then work out your plan of attack, how you want to do it. So from summer in Australia to winter in Canada, that's about it. Thanks for the vlogs, they're really cool and they've been an inspiration for me actually to keep vlogging. Yeah, so see ya.